Alice, and today I'm going to do sort of a tag thing, a video that's been going around, I guess. I first saw this on Reading with Jack's channel, and he saw it on One Book One Review, and I will link both their channels down in the description. And basically these are the top 10 books that I feel like I will always, throughout my life, read again. And I don't know if I'm going to read all of these again, but I know I'm going to at least read them again once. And so I've done it in, like, if they're in a series, I've set the series, because I'm not going to just read one book. If I reread one book, I'll probably reread the series. So yeah, if it's a series, it counts as one. But I really do love rereading books, and so yeah, I'm not going to do these in any order. They're just my top 10, but I'm just going to pick them up as I pick them up. So the first one I pick up is the Shatter Me trilogy by Tara Maffei. I only finished this trilogy like 2 months ago maybe, and I already want to reread it. It was that good. I already want to go back into Shatter Me and find out the little bits that Warner was like nice in, and like remember how much I hated him, and then remember him in this book and see how I feel about him in Shatter Me now. I want to do that, and I think I might at some point, and I want to like read it and see if there's any more sticky notes I'd put in it, although I don't think I can fit a lot more in it. But yeah, that's one of my series. Next one is any book by John Green, but I'm currently holding up The Fault in Our Stars just because I've reread this one twice, 2.5 times, because I'm currently reading it to my boyfriend, but I can see myself reading this like all the time. I read this first about a year ago, and then I reread it I think at the beginning of the year or something when I bought my signed copy, and I just can see myself reading this again and again, even though when I was a kid I always used to say, oh well, I only reread things if there's been enough time between I last read it for me to forget the story. But with this, I read it after I remembered the story clear as day, but I still wanted to reread it just to experience it all again. And this is the one book that if I could go back and erase my memory of the book so that I could feel it again, I would. I really would. I want to read John Green for the first time again, because I don't think I really appreciated it when I first read his books. I don't think I really thought this is going to be my new favourite author, and I'd like to read them, be able to know that, I guess. The next book is a very recent read, and that is The Giver by Lois Lowry, and I know it's optimistic to put this on my list, even though I finished it like last week, literally last week, but this book was so good. It was so thought-provoking, and I just want to read it again now just so that I can feel what I felt when I read it. And I just thought about so much when I was reading it. I thought about what was fair, what was right, whether this world was really happy if they hadn't experienced suffering, and whether suffering makes happiness better. And I really enjoyed this book. I think I'm going to do a review of it, but I'm not sure. So hopefully, if you want to see that, then comment down below. Next book is Fangirl by Rain Burrell. I chose this one instead of Eleanor and Park because I feel like I relate more to Kath in this book than I do to like Eleanor or Park in Eleanor and Park. And I just love this book. It was so cute. I'm glad I have it in the hardcover because I think the hardcover is so pretty. It's just, I really, really love this book, and I want to like just read it again and again and again because I just love it. I really love it. And yeah, I feel like this will relate to me all through my life, hopefully. And I'm excited to read it when I start university next year, because I think it's one of those books that you relate to more once you've been in the situation. So once I start university, I'm hoping that I can read it again and like it even more than I did the first time. The next series is the Anna and the French Kiss thing. I don't know if this is called Anna and the French Kiss series or whatever, but these books, because yes, Elsa isn't out yet, so I can't say whether I'm going to reread Elsa, but I'm pretty sure I will. but I've already like reread sections of them just because I was in the mood for something happy, and it's such a good experience just going back into them. And I feel like every time I'm down I could just read a section of it and I'd be brought straight back up by Etienne and Cricket. They're just the best boy characters I've seen in fiction, and I really, really love Stephanie Perkins' writing style and how she makes everything so, like, everybody says that Eleanor and Park has the like first like really over sexualized hand holding, but I think the dance scene when they're in the nightclub in Anna and the French Kiss just made me want Etienne so much, because it was just such a good scene. Well, just so well written that I felt like I was Anna and that I felt everything she was feeling. So yeah, this series I'm definitely going to reread every time I'm sad. The next series is the Percy Jackson series, but I'm just going to say anything by Rick Riordan. This is only the last 3 books in the series, but I'm getting the new box set in July, so see that in my July book haul. I really loved this series when I read it, and I just want to experience it all over again. So I think as soon as I get my new box set, I'm going to reread them. I think after I've finished Heroes of Olympus, I think I'm going to go on a Rick Riordan binge. So yeah, anything by Rick Riordan really. Next book is also quite a recent read, but that is Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Lullaria. I was lucky to get this early for the UK and for review by Hotkey, and I just loved it so much, and I feel like this is a book that I'm gonna read and read and read all the way through my life because I related to it so much. I related to the character May so much. I think her and Kath from Fangirl are the 2 characters that I think I relate to the most, so I really, really want to reread this just throughout my life to check that I still relate to May. The next series should not be a surprise, and that is the Hunger Games series. Although I will need to get a copy of The Hunger Games because my Kindle is broken. So that's my excuse for getting a new set of these books, I think. But I really love these books, and I don't know whether I'll reread Mockingjay, but I do need to before the film comes out in November, so I'll probably try and buy a new set by then and then reread it. But I really love these books, and I feel like this is the series. This, along with John Green, got me back into reading after so long of not reading, and I just feel like if the film, but the thing is that with me, before BookTube and before I read John Green, I'd read books so that I could see the movie, because I didn't want to see the movie first because that's rubbish. But I didn't want to, I didn't really read a lot, or I didn't really hear about books. I think that was my main problem. I didn't hear about good books, so I didn't know what to read. I just picked up whatever and ended up reading these bad books. And yeah, but this one really got me back into reading and showed me to the YA scene, which is all I read now. Like, all these shelves just exclusively YA, apart from like 2 books. The next series again should not be a surprise, and that is the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. Again, this is a series that I quite recently, not like really recently, like last year, but moderately recently finished. But I still want to reread it so that I can experience everything again. But I will be rereading Divergent and Insurgent before the Insurgent movie in November. So yeah, I will look forward to rereading them then. And the last book on this list is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken and Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken, just because I love this series, and I don't know whether I'm going to get a chance to reread them before the 3rd one comes out. I hope I will, because I want to have it all fresh in my mind, but I don't know whether I'll get the chance. But I'm really excited to read these again, and for the last book, I want the last book so much. I just really, really love this series, and I need more Liam. I need more Liam, because Liam is my book boyfriend, and I love him so much, and yeah, just Liam. Come on, Alexandra Bracken, give me more Liam. Like, I hate chapter samplers, but I want that chapter sampler of In the Afterlife just because I'm hoping Liam will be in it a bit more, and I need more Liam. So that was my top 10 books that I'm gonna reread throughout my life. In the comments you can discuss what books you would want to reread, because I'd love to hear what books you'd like to reread. And yeah, so I will see you next time. Goodbye.